Hello, hello, everyone. It's been a little while since I've been on YouTube, but I have been getting a couple of really good questions coming in that I wanted to address. And the first one is on trauma, which, if you've been around for a little bit, you know that is my specialty in the yoga therapy world. And there are three important things that I think everyone should know about trauma, especially since it's becoming a buzzier word and a buzzier topic now. In this pandemic, who hasn't been traumatized in one way or another, as if we needed more, right? But there are some important things to know about trauma. Traumas can be huge or they can be smaller scale. But if your trauma is too big, and what I mean by too big is that it overwhelms whatever your present capacity for holding emotion is. If it overwhelms that emotional capacity at the time of the occurrence, we will experience dysregulation of the nervous system. And so, if you can imagine going into that fight or flight state, um, and or going beyond it into freeze, we are very likely with big traumas, ones that are out of the ordinary, unlike anything that we've experienced previously. We don't have much of a foundation in working with those intense emotions that come up, or if it's very life threatening, we are very likely to stay in that state of fear or distress. Okay, so that is important to know. But don't worry, there's some relief coming. Um, Second thing that you should know is that all traumatic experiences, once we begin to actually work with them and to address them head on, unfortunately, these issues really don't self-resolve. There is some work that needs to be done, whether it's work that you're doing with a mental health professional and or pair them up, work that you're doing with a behavioral health professional such as myself, where we address the nervous system. There is going to be a grieving process. So if you think back to like high school health and they talk about the different stages of grief, you're going to have that experience once you start um, taking stock of the trauma and in the way that you were affected. Even though you are a survivor, you've also been a victim in some ways, or in many ways. But that is going to be natural for you, for us, for all people. There is going to be a grieving process that takes place. Do the work first. The sunshine and rainbows are coming. They're coming for sure. Um, and then our third point, the third thing that you need to know about trauma is that from that nervous system dysregulation can come regulation. So just like our brains are plastic, just like a child learns, if your nervous system has become dysregulated, it can be regulated again. Nothing is a life sentence. Um, Everything is fixable, everything is changeable, everything is moldable. So if you can learn a pattern of dysregulation, you can learn a pattern of regulation by being in proximity to people with healthy nervous systems, such as myself. That's a large part of my work as a yoga therapist, is having a healthy nervous system that people can tune into, and then putting to work the tools and the practices available that we know support your recovery in getting yourself back to healthy nervous system functioning. You can even experience what is called post-traumatic growth, which is where we've gone through a period of trauma, and then through a result of our own work, we experience a broadening, an opening, an expansion of our own consciousness, where we derive meaning from our trauma. We start to assign a specialness to it in our lives. And no experience goes to waste once we've fully processed it. And a lot of times you will find that following your trauma as you move through post traumatic growth practices, you will start to slowly, gently look at certain elements as improvements to a new you that is being born. So, 3 things that you should know about trauma. If you have questions, let me know. Don't let me go. Let me know. Write to me anywhere, email or down in the chat. And I will see you next time, my lovely people. I love you so much. Mwah.